Bit of a contract on now, something a little bit different tonight. Sort of my fault. I've decided we're going to do it. The old man, he's turning 60 this year, and I've decided we're going to get his car going. So he bought this thing years ago. This is a genuine New South Wales Highway Patrol XC Falcon, factory 4V, top loader, disc brake 9-inch, the works, pine lime yellow, as you can see. He bought this years ago, right before it was going to get crushed, and well, it's been sitting in the same state for 20 years of my life anyway. So I've decided we're going to do it. Why not get his car done, then he can enjoy it, take him for a drive, and then after that, he's got something to use on a weekend. He spends his weekends forever working, and he's done a lot for us over the years, so I've decided we're doing it. So last weekend was Bendigo, ended up at Adam Slorach's joint, so ADS Automatics. Dropped the C10 off there, so it was one out of my truck when it was Clevo, so we're going to build that up, build a pretty honest trans, something that's going to service this thing nicely. So he's jumped on board with that, so yeah, appreciate that. Anyway, tonight I've decided to get in the engine, so started pulling things apart. So yeah, we're making a move on it. I've cleaned all the shit off it. Old mate must have just used blue tack as gasket sealant, because this thing was just loaded full of it. But anyway, so yeah, I ended up calling up the bloke I use, my machinist. Great bloke, awesome engine builder, very helpful, been great with the Corolla engine, all that stuff. And yeah, didn't want to fight me when I blew up the Corolla engine either, so happy about that. But anyway, yeah, Mick, Malone in Warrnambool, great bloke, awesome at what he does. Excuse the rain, weather is shit house. But he's jumped on board to help me out, so I do appreciate that, mate, if you do watch this. Yeah, he's keen to do it, so he's going to help machine it up for me, and we're going to decide a few things, what we need to do just to make this an honest engine. This thing may do a few Friday nights and whatnot. We're going to build a fairly solid engine. Obviously, it's not going to be H-beams, 4Gs, all the gear like the Corolla was. This is pretty much going to be stock crank, stock rod combo. Just a few bits and pieces to make, obviously, the weak parts stronger. Just a nice, honest engine that we can, yeah, do a little bit of racing, mainly cruising, and go from there. This motor here was actually out of the old man's, one of his mates' F-truck. It chewed the cam out, so yeah, he decided to get rid of it. The old man bought it, and pretty lucky he did, because you run the numbers on the side there. This is a 351 GXL block, and it's only a few months difference from this car, so that's about as close as we're going to get to the original one that was in there. Obviously we're not going 4V, because like half the country, we can't afford it. We're not going to pay fucking $4 for a set of cast heads or anything stupid like that. So yeah, I've got a good set of closed chambers there. I think they're off an XA. So yeah, they're going to go on, but basically it's just going to be an honest, nice build. So yeah, I'm just going to pull it all apart tonight, number everything, keep everything in its place, so that when I go to the machinist, he can then see how everything was together, if there is any issues, which, having a look at this one here,
oh, that's nasty.
There is a small ridge in the centre though, just where the two halves have sort of worn a bit. So it'll be up to him to decide what we should do. Worst case is we've got to chuck another crank in it, which we should have a couple of spares anyway. So yeah, so this motor, pretty honest though, it's a 20th hour over job. It's got a set of seal pistons on it. Was balanced years ago, but I want to change a few things. I definitely want to look at maybe putting rod bolts in it and just doing all that stuff, peace of mind. If we need to do any oil mods, just easy ones, we can do that, just to try and get this thing to last a bit longer. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is pull it apart, number everything, put everything in a bin, so it's all obviously put away. Motor will hopefully go over there in the next few weeks. This thing won't be all the RPM or anything either, so it's just going to be, I've already bought the camshaft and everything, and it's just a good size crow cam. Yeah, all that sort of stuff. It's probably just going to have a dual plane on it. Might put a good sump on it, just peace of mind. But yeah, for the most part, a little bit of head work. Yeah, just a good engine. So hopefully that'll finally get this thing going. I'll finish this off. There won't be much filming on this job. I will touch in from time to time, but it's sort of just going to be the family thing. And yeah, when things happen and I can film, I'll touch in. But yeah, most of the focus is out at the other shed. I also will end up having another project on the go at the same time because I'm a fucking idiot. So anyway, motor's all blown apart. Everything's all disassembled, wiped down for the most part. I leave things a little bit early just so they don't go rusty and crap, especially down here. Block wise, not too bad. Bores all look pretty good. We'll wait and see if they do need to go over or not. But yeah, for the most part, everything's looking pretty good there. But unfortunately, this thing supposedly did a camshaft, lifters and whatnot. This thing has had no oil pressure for quite a long time because every bearing is fucked. Mains aren't as bad, but they're still not great. Rods completely toasted. They're all delaminated. These things are fucked. Like, luckily, I put new rings and bearings in anything I build because why wouldn't you? The only saying that tow truck, no, but it was very good on the bottom end. So that motor makes this motor look like a heap of shit. I can see that the crank's probably not going to make it. There is a fair old step on one journal from rod to rod, and it's, yeah, grinding it down. I don't see you're going to get that much out of it. So luckily, he hoards a bit of shit, and we have a spare crankshaft under that shirt. So that's actually out of a ski boat that we accidentally rotted years ago. So yeah, that was a big day. But anyway, it's a 4MA crank. Not sure about the hype on that, if it's all bullshit or it's good shit, don't know. Either way, it's going to be a better crank. The only thing was, this bloke tends to forget to oil things, just wraps them up, and you can't do that down here. So it was a little bit rusty, so I just wire brushed it real quick and cleaned it up and just oiled the shit out of it. So hopefully it's well enough that it's going to make it. I have seen worse come up alright, so I think this one will be fine. Oiled the bores the whole lot as well, all the lifter galleries as well, just to yeah, make sure everything's nice and smooth for when we put it back together. Yeah, for the most part, not too bad. So we're back in the shed, doing motor stuff at the moment. So I ended up grabbing my set of heads that we're actually going to be using for the old man's motor. So you saw that was all pulled apart the other night. Yeah, a little bit ordinary with the crankshaft. The bearings completely fucked. So that thing's hasn't seen oil for a long time. But anyway, yeah, so these heads here, ones I picked up when I was probably, I don't know, 14, 15. And they've just been sitting around. Haven't really had a use for them. They're nothing really over the top special. They're just a closed chamber 2V head. Exactly the same what's on the tow truck down the other end. I have noticed that someone's gone through them and done a little bit of work though. Starting with the valve guides. So that one's nice and square. You look at that one, it's tapered. And you can also see that sort of sharp edge line that's sort of around the bottom there. Yeah, that's where they would have drilled it out and the metal would have parted to. They install the new insert and yeah, do the valve guides like that. So these heads are probably going to get all new guides anyway, just because there's no point doing a set of heads and not doing that, especially with if there's any loose ones in there, which I reckon there were a couple. It's not a good idea to have that. So you want a nice good fit, all that sort of stuff. This while we're here, while we're getting the rest of it done, may as well set these up for roller rockers, and then we've got a good set then. So also one thing I noticed was a couple of the valves had little lash caps on there, so they sit over the top of the valve and they're just a certain thickness to take up your lash. So yeah, someone's gone to a little bit of trouble trying making these things pretty much even all the way across the board there, but yeah, won't really matter because we'll either possibly reuse the valves, but if it's better to go new, that's probably the way we'll go. Springs, obviously we're going to do that. These have had a aftermarket set of retainers put on there, so we may be able to reuse them. We'll wait and see. Collets, I'd like to get new ones. Yeah, definitely can't stress on those. Going to do a port job on it. Don't know how great a port job. I'm not the greatest at it, but I am going to do a few bits and pieces that I know will help these heads out, and anything's better than nothing. Hopefully, that'll be a good set of heads then. Tonight's job is actually not on this thing behind me. We are on cylinder heads. So I've got the dodgy ass table set up. She's laid out. So pretty much because I'm too lazy, I want to sit down and do this. So I've got all the bits and pieces. So yeah, die grinder, a few wheels, a couple of cutting pieces, whatever you want to call them, cardboard bits. And yeah, I can't remember what you call this shit, but yeah, it's good for keeping the condition of the bits nice, and also helps with cutting. But pretty much what I'm going to do is, yeah, clean these up before they get taken over next week. So motor and everything goes over end of next week to the machinist, and we get right into it. So what I'm going to do tonight is clean all these up, all the sharp edges, going to radius a lot of them so that the oil can flow around. It doesn't have a sharp edge to try and go through, but mainly these holes here. Try and blend them out so it's just a nice flow, because at the moment there's a big step there, so the oil's got to come down and then sort of drop in over a sharp edge. And yeah, it can do it, but it's just a lot easier if it just goes straight through. So that's what I'm going to do. So that one there, and also that one there. Clean up a few other bits, and then these heads should be pretty much right to send over. So I've got my little sketchy table, my lighting, plenty of it. Also more light if I need it. And yeah, just all the bits I possibly might need. I do need to invest in a bit more, but this is sort of what I've got at the moment. Once I do sort of start getting into it, when these come back, I will be buying more bits so that I can, yeah, fiddle around with porting and all that sort of shit. So yeah, that's the plan tonight. So I may as well stop talking and yeah, let's get into it. So heads are all sort of smoothed up. So yeah, as you can see, the return now is nice and radiused. Flows in there nicely, both ends. And yeah, also around the intake runner, or runners. And yeah, just got rid of a few things. There are a couple of scary little sort of pinholes there, but that's actually in the casting, because they are pretty rough. And yeah, it was actually both same on both heads. So yeah, so clean up down the bottom there as well, all just the rough edges, lips, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, we've got ourselves a set of heads that will probably be a little bit better than obviously what they were standard. So as I said, might make fuck all difference, but yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's how I've done it. Also doing this, cleaning up oil returns and all that sort of stuff, it is probably a little bit of practice, if you want to call it that, especially if you haven't done it for a fair while. Just getting used to it again. So if you, yeah, it's been a long time, you clean the heads up like this on an area that's not really going to do fuck all to anybody. It's not very crucial compared to, say, around chambers, valves, ports, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, you can get a bit of a feel for how the die grinder is going to be. Just get that feeling back. So yeah, so that's another reason why I do it is yeah, you just sort of get the feeling back, see about blending it, and just sort of see how nice you can get that sort of area. Once you get comfortable, then yeah, you go on the other side and do it all, and hopefully, yeah, you'll be a little bit sort of better off than just flying straight into it, and hopefully nothing's out of whack, or you know, stuff it up sort of thing. I may actually go down and look at the block just to see if I can clean up anything on that as well. I tend to do that with most of the engines I have done in the last while. Just yeah, any dags, shit bits, whatnot, just to try and sort of clean them up as well, and just try and sort of promote a bit more, yeah, smooth oil flow back to the sump. Again, this isn't a motor that's going to be getting thrashed like the Corolla or anything like that, but it is just peace of mind, and yeah, it's my time I'm wasting, not anyone else's. So yeah, so once all that's done, we can take it over and hopefully, yeah, start making some movement and hopefully come up with a nice solid Cleveland for this car. So, and hopefully it'll be a good thing for many years, and I won't have to worry about pulling it out or doing anything with it. So yeah, then that means I can focus on other things. So anyway, yeah, that is all, and we'll see what tomorrow brings.